Welcome to this week's episode of Ankle Sore. As you can see, we're a soldier down, but the show must go on. We've checked in with the local Tasmanian authorities and we're waiting to hear back. We think there could be a mix-up with Clarko and his flight. It's been a weekend of teams of winning ugly, but it's better than losing, I guess, Andrew. Some very ugly games of football this round.
Football's ugly at the moment, Angelo. It's very ugly. Too much defense.
Because the coaches just put in like that negative...
18 players back. I hate it. Anyway.
It's 2005 football, isn't it?
It's putrid.
So the Saints and the Pies are still undefeated, and so too are the Blues. We saw North Melbourne and Essendon's bubble burst, and amazingly, the reigning premiers from last year still without a win. Who would have thought? And incidentally, Geelong are the first team since 1976 to be 0-3 as a premiership team.
Jeez, that's interesting. Good start.
Long time ago. So before we get cracking, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have 84% of viewers watching that are not subscribed. So if you could please hit that like and subscribe buttons, it would really help us out. So let's get cracking, stuck into round 3.
Let's go.
Thursday night, Western Bulldogs, Brisbane, the first of the ugly games. Bulldogs 10-7-67, Brisbane 7-11-53, 14-point win, uninspiring game of football.
Like I said in the review of round 3, let's see what Brisbane bring because they're usually downhill skiers, and especially when they play at home.
They clipped them in. They didn't clip them in, did they?
No. Oh, well, they couldn't. They forgot to bring them.
They didn't put them on the flight.
No.
Maybe it was excess baggage.
Yeah, quite possibly because they just came up and just played ugly footy. As for the Bulldogs, mate, look, they got a win. Good luck to them. Jamara kicked half their goals. Great for the kid after the week he had. But I think, Norton can't kick. They've got a huge problem with scoring.
He sprayed two inside 15 minutes.
If you can't kick that as a forward, there's something wrong.
It was a messy game all round. It didn't reach any great heights, did it?
Ugly game. Absolute ugly game.
I think both sets of forwards failed to capitalise on opportunities.
100%.
Both ends.
I mean, but we've been going on about the Joe Danaher thing for years now.
Yeah.
And it's like, when's it going to when do you go, is he going to change his habits? Is he going to practice his kicking? Is anything going to change with him? I don't think it is. Hipwood's not far behind him.
Yeah.
So I don't know about Brisbane. I've got my reservations, mate.
Before you go on that, I thought both defences also struggled to clear the ball out. Yeah, both defences. So it was a game played
in the middle, and
the arcs,
inside
the arcs.
I agree. And geez, if it wasn't for Bontempelli and
he was brilliant.
And Jamara,
they
probably lose it, even though Brisbane played that bad. So it was an ugly game of footy.
Gunston was handy.
Yeah, he was okay, but at the same time, I don't think. He just doesn't fit. I don't know. I thought he'd be a great pickup, but
you talked about Hipwood and you talked about Danaher. Gunston was their best forward,
and he's not there to be their best forward.
No,
he's there to complement those two.
No. But he nailed some important goals.
Oh, absolutely. But
just Brisbane. Closing on the lines. I don't want to say the word soft. I don't want to say it.
What is it then? If they're not soft,
It's not the Brisbane Lions we know, but gee.
Yeah, but what's the Brisbane Lions we know? They should have probably won a flag in the last 3 years. They've had so many opportunities.
The window is closing.
Ange, during the COVID thing, they played every game at home. They still couldn't win a premiership.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I think it's watch this space for both sides.
Absolutely. Oh, look, the Bulldogs, they're not going to hurt anyone in September.
They're not.
They won't even make it, I don't think, but they've got problems.
They kicked 65 in the first round.
I reckon 40 or something, 41 or something against St Kilda.
41 against St Kilda and 67. So they've kicked over. It's not enough of an aggregate to win your games of foot. And at Marvel.
Yeah.
2 of those 3 games were at Marvel.
Yep.
Anyway. We'll move on. Friday, Collingwood-Richmond. Collingwood 8-15-63. Richmond 7-7-49. Okay, it rained. So there is that.
And look, I think Richmond had to play ugly and to bring Collingwood down because they would have destroyed them.
Yeah.
If it's free-flowing football, Collingwood would destroy anyone. So Richmond shut it down well.
Yeah.
Not well enough. I think they're having the problem with scoring too.
Amazing.
Your Lynch is the best forward
I know.
in the AFL ain't working.
Well, he's the top 3.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're struggling at the moment. They're good around the ground. Their back line stands up, but their forward line is just horrendous. They can't score.
It's
in all 3 games.
Out
Yeah.
Quite easily.
Too easy.
Collingwood's a good defensive team as well. Like, they're good all over the park.
They are, but Richmond are just missing something. I don't know what it is. Like, I know they're missing Broad, and I know Tarrant not so much because I think he's not really a defender. You know, he's just a one-on-one defender. Yeah, he's an intercept.
Yeah,
but I don't know about Richmond. I thought they could challenge for the premiership this year. Can't see it. Can't see it.
I've got them almost. They could not make it.
Just miss. Yeah, possibly.
Collingwood obviously just did enough to win the game.
Collingwood just got the job done.
But what really not disappointed me, but it was like how today's players cannot play in wet weather football.
Yeah, it's
just amazing.
Like, it's actually simple. Like, just get it forward.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, like, let's not play. Although, the Dakai brother.
The Dakai. Again, were good.
Again, were very good. Wet, dry, snow, sleet, whatever you want. They're good footballers, they're good. The Dakai.
We move on to Saturday, and Hawthorn got the job done on North Melbourne, 11-14, 89-7-61. A strange game. Don't know how our mate's feeling. We'll touch base with him when we can.
Geez, I reckon North. I mean, in hindsight, looking at it in hindsight, you go into a game, whether it's Hawthorn or Carlton or Collingwood, Geelong, whoever you're playing, you go into a game without Jai Simpkin, Luke Davies-Uniacke, and Ben Mackay out of a bottom side, you're going to struggle.
And arguably, if not definitively.
Oh, they're top 3 players.
For
me,
the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a team like North, huge loss, right?
Massive.
So we probably should have saw it coming, I guess, to a point, even though Hawthorn have been terrible, but they've played some good sides. But I reckon just I was so disappointed in Jai Simpkin.
Yeah.
Like, missing.
Let his team down, didn't he?
Like, for me, it's not your game, mate.
Yeah.
You're a leader for a different reason. So you're not Joel Selwood, mate. You're not that tough leader, right? So, you know, we didn't know at the time when you got suspended that Luke Davies-Uniacke could be out.
That was a huge blow.
But that's just made it even more so, you know. If I was Clarko, mate, I'd be having a chat to Jai and going, mate, it's not your go. Just play football.
But it happens again. Like this week, Griffin Logue's under scrutiny. He's gone to the tribunal. So I don't know if he gets off that. But I think North looked flat.
I think they looked flat. Look, they had 2 good wins. I'm not
saying it's an excuse or anything.
It's not an excuse, but look, as you know, it's hard to be up for 22 rounds in AFL.
Yeah.
Like, it's very hard. Like, you know, they've won 2 games, right? Some people said they'd only win 2 games.
That's right. Well,
for the season.
I said 4, so they've got 2 to go.
So,
don't you think Hawthorn, they were desperate?
Yeah.
If they were going to target, you know, like they've had, Essendon whacked them in the first round. Sydney really mauled them.
Yeah.
And they rightly so, should be thinking, hey,
here we go. Yeah, we need
here's
to
a go here. Here's a chance.
Here's
we can get North.
100%.
So it sort of wasn't that much of a surprise, was it?
Not with those players out, no.
Yeah.
Those players play, it's I reckon there's a goal in it.
And I thought Hawthorn played well.
They played well.
They played well. They stopped North's chip game.
100%. He coached really well, Sam Mitchell. I think the run from the back line, CJ and these blokes played very well.
And to think that North got within a point. Should have gone on and won it. Maybe.
Potentially, but I think there's just too many passions at North. Like the Kane Turners of the world.
You're going to get that with
and the Jaden Stevensons. I don't know, mate.
But that's part and parcel of a bottom 4 team, isn't it? Too many passengers.
It is, but when do you go, okay, we need to get some other players in? There's 40 on the list. Like you can't tell me that there's not players in the VFL pushing for selection, you know.
North haven't got a great deal of depth.
They haven't, but you've got to find out.
They should try Wardlaw soon.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Jackson Archer.
Well, he played a few games
They'll
last
try
year,
these.
Jackson. But that's what I mean. Like, I think, and I said this to someone during the week, I said, hey, the days of the Cunningtons and Zeebles.
Of course.
Like, the fact that they're actually playing.
Yeah.
And that was my point pre-season when I said Zeeble, he shouldn't be getting the game. Not because he's a bad player, but he's not in the next premiership side.
No, he's not.
North Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
So
that I agree
Hawthorn's done arguably the right thing and said, no, we're calling everyone.
Ripped it,
because we're starting from zero. And North Melbourne are essentially starting from zero, but they're not because they've still got, these older players hanging around. And yes, they're still valuable and good players, but I think they're taken away from what North's trying to do going forward,
Yeah.
So, interesting watch, North Melbourne. Let's see what happens this week, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Saturday, GWS Carlton 9:10-64, GWS 9:20-74. Another ugly game for the books. Your Blues, hey, they got the job done, mate. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
Got the job done, but a few little things happen in this game.
Yeah. They are getting the job done, which is great as a Carlton supporter, a long-suffering Carlton supporter. But they want to play better if they want to challenge in September,
That first quarter, 5-6, and it's like as if both coaches were like,
just said, what's
going on?
Shoot out. Yeah, and they shut it down.
This is not on. This is not on. We go negative, and both coaches did.
I agree, and there's just one thing I want to bring up. AFL coaches, why do you not put time into goal kicking? It is the number one thing in AFL you need to do, and yet they don't.
Yeah.
They're not allowed.
Drop punts or
anything.
These banana things.
I'll cop the banana things because I know they practice them more than drop punch, right?
They do.
But at the same time, it's easier to kick around the corner than it is a drop punt.
It is.
In your head, right?
Why do it straight in front?
Because they've got no
Charlie
confidence.
Cameron on Thursday night hit the belly of the ball.
Yeah.
From 40 metres out, 45, maybe even
because
straight up in the air.
Because you know what happens? At training, they don't go, let's have 10 shots from in front, let's have 10 shots from here, drop punch, right? What they do, they have a couple of shots from the guy, hey, you owe me a pizza, right? Yeah, if I get this in. So they practice more than they practice the main thing in the to score. You've got to score. If you can't score, it's over. What's the point?
Do NBA and NBL practice 3-point shots?
I would say they do. Of course they bloody
do.
Of course they do, mate. And you're trying to tell me that this is the only sport I know. Like cricket, they go into the nets.
Yep.
Soccer, they practice penalties. They have a goalkeeper. They have shots at goal. Happens, right? NBA, they practice shooting.
Yeah.
Yes, they do all the other stuff, but that just comes natural. Like, the most important thing, kicking for goal, I think, right, is not practice in the AFL, and I can't understand it.
It's staggering. If you go down and watch. They do drills, they do game plans.
Oh, who cares?
They do plays, they work the ball.
So what's the point? What's the point if you do all the hard work and you get down to your forwards and they go, what do I do now?
Well, look at Aaron Norton. I know we're going back to Thursday.
He's a horrendous kick. He should be, Aaron. Your job, Aaron Norton. Your job is to have 500 shots per week at goal.
Exactly.
And that's it. 500. I don't want you to run laps. I don't want you to be involved in the drills. Yep. You know how we play. That's it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Aside from the Blues misfiring, they're misfiring a little bit, aren't they?
They are. I think it's just... But it's funny because the Mackay and Curnow thing is a bit of a disconnect at the moment. Like, they're getting in each other's way. I don't know. It's just...
Mackay's better higher, isn't he? And Curnow's better deeper.
He is. And look... All the good, like Geelong did it with Cameron last year and Hawkins. Hawkins didn't leave that 50-yard, right? It doesn't need to, right?
Yeah.
But he kicked 60-odd goals and Cameron still kicked his 45, 50, right? Yep. But Cameron plays up a bit because he's a bit more agile. So I think Carlton really need to just sort that out.
I also think the opposition are thinking
working
in their
a bit.
opposition review.
Yeah.
Geez, we've got to get numbers behind. We've got to shut off because they're the two that are going to destroy us. They're going to kick 20 goals against us.
But doesn't that mean you just get the ball in quick?
Yeah.
To not allow the defence to set up?
True. Are the
opposition
opposition good enough? But I thought, aside from that, I thought Cripps head-to-head with Tom Green was a great battle. 42 possessions versus 34. Chera got 28 possessions, plenty. Doherty got 39. They had plenty of run.
Yeah.
And that was really good to see. So, like you said, getting the ball in quick. Saad got 25.
And look, they won by 10 points and they were given a soft free kick.
Yeah. I want to talk about that.
That's horrendous.
Oh, yeah. That was really poor.
Like, it's one thing, dissent, but a soft free kick like that to put him in front and virtually win the game in the end.
That was the game.
Like, that's just not on AFL. Seriously. What are you
his arms in the air.
That happens 50 times a game.
And they called it
So-
and a 50. Was there a 50 as well?
No,
There
because
was.
it was in the forward line. They gave it at the top of the
Put it at
square.
the top of
right?
the square.
So either you pay everyone or you don't pay that rubbish because that's ridiculous, AFL.
It's a multi-million-dollar competition, and I know you've said this before, and we have professional coaches. That's their job. Footballers, we know that. That's their
Who
job.
else are professionals?
And then you go to the footy department.
Professionals. That's all they do.
But the game with football between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, I know that's
going back to the 80s.
original.
But anyway, yeah.
is controlled by accountants. Nothing against accountants.
Lawyers?
Lawyers, school teachers.
Yep.
Get these blokes into professional positions.
But you know what?
It's the only part of the
I
game.
won't call him a name, but Gil McLaughlin reckons we've done all the stats. It doesn't matter. You know what, Gil? Whether it matters or not, how about showing the public that you actually care and put them in full-time positions so they can work on their craft, so they can go and review footage from the week. They don't have time because
they're school teachers, lawyers, and accountants.
Exactly
What
right.
about, I know full time might be hard to find 40 hours of work, but what about 2 solid days?
No. Full time's fine. It's a multi-million.
It is.
No. It's not even. It's just close to $1 billion industry a year. Like teams spend $100 million a year. There's 18 teams.
Yep.
It's 1.1. Right.
Yep.
That's a lot of money. Right. To not have professional
Yep.
umpires is a farce.
Yep.
Right.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Moving on just slightly with umpiring. I know it's probably not related, but it's time to move the deliberate rule, scrap it,
100%.
abolish it, and let's go with last touch.
I said this 4 years ago again, and I think it was Chris Scott that said it. Let's make the game easier for them to umpire.
That's
if
right.
you take out that, was it deliberate? No, it's the last person to touch
That's
it.
right.
If it's spoiled, you throw it in, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's from the defender, that's part of the game.
That's
spoiling, right.
That's right.
But if you kick it and it just happens to go out,
It's
just like
over.
soccer,
Yep.
it's the other team's
Basketball.
football.
Name
That's it.
every sport in the world
Every
that does
sport,
it.
mate. It's why are we
Hey, look,
the only one?
The SANFL does it.
And it works
VFL
well.
women's do it.
Correct, and it works
And
well.
AFL women's. So
It takes the guesswork out of it.
that's exactly right.
And AFL, please, I'm begging you, get rid of the umpires bouncing the
Just
ball.
throw it up.
Not only because it's ugly and they bring it back, 3 seconds
Yep.
get removed, right? From
Yep.
every time it happens. I reckon in most games I've watched this year, it's happened 3 or 4 times. That's 12 seconds, right? That's
Yeah.
a centre clearance down to a forward to a go. It's going to cost the game. There's going to be a game where the siren goes. That North Melbourne game where the siren went at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if we go back and see if there
How
was
much time was?
Yeah, if there was a missed bounce, right? Because that would have been an extra 3 seconds, and it could have, right?
And that leads me on to another bugbear. Maybe we've got time somewhere else along the line one other day, but I've had enough of 35-minute quarters.
I don't mind them. More footy is better footy for me.
I don't mind 30-minute quarters. There was 3 games on the weekend that went 33, 34, 35 minutes times 4. It's a 20-minute quarter. We're playing 15 minutes of dead. We're not playing it. It's 15 minutes of dead. That's how much time on. So half, the same amount of the quarter is dead time.
I can fix that.
I can fix it too.
You
What's
know how
your
to fix
theory?
it? When it goes out of the bounce, the other team get it.
There, that's
Right, not
fun.
go there. Let's throw it in and more scrimmages. No.
Yeah.
No. Let's just give it to that bloke. The
But
other
what
team.
was wrong within the 80s and 90s, 25-minute quarters, and the quarters only went 30 minutes.
Yeah, and there was more scoring. So
There was more scoring.
make some brass of that.
Make some brass of that. Before we close on that game, I thought Nick Newman's job on Toby Green was vital.
Very good. He didn't look interested, Toby Green. It looked like it was too hard for him because he had a couple of good
course.
weeks, kicked 2
Of
4-goal
course,
bags. But,
That's Toby Green. Let's move on to Saturday night.
okay.
St Kilda 14-8-92 defeated Essendon 11-8-74. Wow. Saints are 3-0.
I've got to give it to Ross Lyon, mate. You're doing a good
Thank
job.
you.
However, you're not going to win a premiership, so get that out of your
No,
head. But you're doing well.
It's not about that, but they're 3-0.
No, they're doing well. Like the fact that they lost their captain too, we all said, nah.
Well, Jack Steele was
Jack
another
Steele,
one.
without Jack Steele, they've got no hope against Essendon. I think, does it say more about Essendon?
I'm okay. I don't mind that Essendon's been tipped over this week.
No, but
for me, it doesn't. For me, it
But
says
do
a
you
lot about St Kilda. They were challenged 3 times,
Yeah.
big crowd, MCG. That's a big win.
Oh, it's a great
It's
win.
a big win.
And I'll tell you something for free. The most underrated player in the AFL is Callum Wilkie. He's a star, mate.
What a defender. No one ever talks about him.
Do you know he's never missed a game?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Since his debut, he's never missed a game of football.
Underrated, I said undefended. Undefended.
No, he's very defended. No, he's the most underrated player in the AFL.
I agree.
Like, without fail. It used to be Dane Rampy a few years back.
Well, it's funny because of...
So he's a similar player as Rampy, you know.
I've written a couple of points from that game, and one was Wilkie. The other one, I'm glad your mate's not here, because Mason Wood is flying at the moment. Yeah.
But he's given a bit of a license, isn't he?
He's averaging in his first 3 games 23 possessions a game. Like,
that's impressive.
Run, kid, just go.
Yeah.
Crouch is fit.
Yep.
The first time we've seen Crouch fit.
Yep.
And that helps, doesn't it?
And I guess Ross Lyon, one thing he gives them is direction.
Yep.
You play this way or you don't play. Whereas other teams are like, maybe you can do that better. Like when the coaches have enough of players and go, hey, if you're not going to do what we want you to do, you're not playing. Yeah. Ross Lyon is that type. Oh, they still won't win the flag.
Ross Lyon, Ross Lyon is one soldier in, one soldier out. 100%. It doesn't matter who you are. It's like a chess piece.
100%.
2 small forwards, 8 goals between them.
Yep.
I don't know how often that's going to happen. Essendon, just quickly on Essendon, when they finally got the contest on the inside, they got back in the game because that's Essendon's game.
I reckon, can I say something
their defence, Kelly and Ridley was strong and they couldn't find a forward.
I was just going to mention that. So Jake Stringer comes in for his first game of the year, right?
Yeah, underdone.
So Cole Langford goes back, kicked 5 last week.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
Yeah.
Why would you put a bloke that's kicked 5 back?
And that's the difference in coaching.
And they put him back because Stringer came in.
Yeah.
How about making Stringer the sub? And if Kyle doesn't work, put him back or sub him out and bring Jake on.
And do you think
it didn't work?
The philosophy on coaching, Ross Lyon is soldier for soldier.
Yeah.
Brad Scott is, okay, my best forwards come back in, you go back.
But you know what's
funny?
It's
a different philosophy.
But I'll tell you something with that. It always seems to happen to the Essendons and Collingwoods, or not so much Collingwood now, Carltons. Like where it's like almost the culture of the club forces them to do it.
Yeah, like,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's like you get seduced by where Essendon. Oh, Jake Stringer, I've got
to be back in the forward line.
Yeah, no,
that's
those
true.
days are gone.
Showdown 53. It was. What a game!
Great game.
13-8-86 Adelaide. Sorry, Port Adelaide. 18-917. Now with 10 minutes left in that last quarter, Port led by 4 points. Jeez. So the Crows kicked the last 6 goals of the game in the last 10 minutes. And I said this last week, I liked Adelaide's run on Richmond for 30 minutes. And I said,
they were good.
I think they can get Port, and they did.
But I like
in that aspect.
I like Adelaide. I like the way they play. I like something about them, you know. They're actually fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
Our mate Luke Pedler kicked 3 goals.
He was brilliant, our mate.
The Gary McIntosh clone. I reckon, mate, he's doing well.
Can we do a bike joke or no? Can't think of one at the moment.
But, anyway,
but he kicked 3.
Get on your bike, Luke. He kicked 3. Isaac Rankin was superb.
Their rebuild's going nicely.
Oh, mate. So they've got
chugging along.
Rochelle, Rankin, Thilthorpe.
Kicked 5.
Thorpe.
Thilthorpe.
And guess who didn't play?
Tell me.
They're one of their better forwards, I think. Darcy Fogarty didn't play.
Oh, yeah.
So there's another kid. Yeah. There's another kid that, you know. So when Tex hangs up the boots, they've got some good kids there, you know. And even like, mate, Jordan Dawson, getting him from Sydney.
Won the medal, I believe. Yeah, won the showdown medal.
There's a bit of controversy about that.
Talk.
So David King was watching it in the Fox studios.
That annoys me no ends.
Yeah, but
commentators in studios.
However, they asked him to do it, right?
Yeah.
So he gave best on ground to Isaac Rankin, and the others didn't agree, right? Coaches' votes both gave Isaac Rankin 5 votes each. So he got 10 coaches' votes. So David King was vindicated.
Yeah.
Picked him as the best player, and they picked Dawson as the best player. So, yeah, he won the... He did play well, Dawson, but I reckon Isaac Rankin was the difference. He was
best on ground by a mile.
I think now that he's back in Adelaide like he wanted,
yep,
he's special, mate.
So where to for Port?
Don't know. I reckon they're done. I don't know. It's going to go one of two ways, obviously. But I think this week against Sydney is going to define Ken Hinkley's. Well, but Sydney is Sydney, right?
Hinkley's in trouble though, isn't he?
He's in deep trouble because I don't think Port are where they should be. They've got a pretty good list.
They have.
I just think Ken Hinkley the Charlie Camerons, mate, you're done. I think.
But what was their problem? That first quarter, 6 goals to 5, up and about. It was a competitive game of footy.
But they can't sustain it.
They can't sustain it.
It's like, Tom Jonas, jeez, he's struggling,
Well,
I don't know.
They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Tom Jonas is...
So I think the Ken Hinkley thing, he just shows faith in those players that have been around for so long, right? And to their detriment now. Like, they didn't play finals last year, right? And he's gone with them again. It's like, you let Carl Amon go, and you bring in who? Jason Norman-Francis, okay, but as we've...
And another one.
I mean, look, he's going to be a star, right?
Yeah, I know.
Potentially. He's got all the ability, he's got all the tools, but his heart's not in it. And I think because he's comfortable.
No, his heart's in it when it's on his terms. That's
but that
a
can't
selfish
that can't happen in AFL
behaviour.
No,
I won't say selfish person.
No.
Football. It's just selfish behaviour.
Yeah, 100%. And
I'm not going to chase this next ball.
That can't happen.
It's bad.
That can't happen. And what do you do as a coach? Do you drop him or?
Yeah. It was good enough for David Noble to do it.
Yeah, and look where that got him.
Yeah, I know.
They trade him out. I mean, he's not going to get traded from
Port.
Port. But yeah, it's a funny one. I just reckon Port are nowhere. I just think they're I don't know.
This side or this nucleus lost that
they're
preliminary
gone.
final to Richmond 4 years ago.
That was their last chance.
It's a rebuild now.
Yeah, it's a rebuild.
This.
Yeah, 100%. And you got to start rebuilding against around Rosie Butters.
Yeah,
but
Jason sides don't rebuild. They just don't.
But they need to.
West Coasters, we'll get on to them.
Yeah.
Let's get to Sunday footy. Sunday, it's the 1:10 game. Gold Coast versus Geelong. 2:10 game. Gold Coast Geelong at Metricon Stadium.
Woo-hoo. No chance.
Geelong.
We'll beat Gold Coast. Is that what you're saying?
I can't see it.
I tipped this, Mike Williamson.
Yep, I sure did tip this.
Gold Coast 10-13-73. Geelong 7-12-54. Low scoring game in perfect conditions.
Yep. Like I said last week.
A catastrophe. And I only say that because I saw it on the back page of the
I
paper.
told you Gold Coast would beat them. Mate, they're shot, Geelong. They're not interested. I said it last week.
Are they shot?
Yeah.
Are they shot or they've been beaten comprehensively 3 weeks in a row now?
Both.
Is that what that means, do you think?
Both.
Yeah.
Remember, they've been up for a few years.
Yeah,
they
that's
lost.
fair enough.
They lost to Richmond in what was it? 2020.
2020.
Okay.
Yep.
Play finals in 21, won it in 22. They've been up for 3 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's...
and even longer than that. They're always making finals, losing preliminary finals. And so that nucleus, the Dangerfields and all that sort of stuff, they've been around for a few years now,
But it's
right?
not there. Dangerfield was pretty good.
No, I
Jeremy
understand.
Cameron was
but
pretty good. Tom Stewart was pretty good.
And that's it. And that's
isolating
it.
to Sunday.
And that's it. They've still got the Gary Rowans and Tom Hawkins is underdone.
No more upside. Tom Hawkins, geez.
And the Zach Tui's, even though he's been great, but those types of players are really struggling.
Yeah.
And that's where Geelong will always get you go, geez, he had 29, Zach Tui.
Yeah, I know. And Guthrie was
goals.
the same.
Yeah, Guthrie. I saw when I was watching the game, they put up, who was having a shot at goal? My mate, 46. Blitzevs. He had 2 shots at goal from 15 metres out, missed them both. 32 years of age.
That's it. That's right.
Right? So
yeah.
I didn't realise. I thought, 28, 29.
Mature recruit he was at the time.
Yeah, but at 32, hey, we're done.
Exactly.
I just think they've had their run. They won their one premiership. They're happy with themselves. No, as in, I'm not taking a dig at them, but it was so hard for them to win that premiership. And I think Vito's little thing about Joel Selwood
it could be coming to fruition.
Yeah, it is.
I reckon you're onto something, V. No one in the media's mentioned it.
No, they actually did. I heard one person say it.
Must have listened to it.
Yeah, they must have seen our podcast. But I just think that, it was so hard for them to win that flag. It took them 4 or 5 years to win it.
All that. They've got a dysfunctional forward line at the moment.
100%. And
again, they lost to Collingwood. They were 4 goals up on Collingwood late in the third quarter, got overran. They had a chance to overrun Carlton, but Carlton steadied. 2 good quality oppositions. This one, you saw coming.
Oh, I saw it coming.
So next week, who have the Cats got? We'll talk about that in our
We'll talk about that in
preview.
our round 4 preview.
Sunday, Melbourne, Sydney. What a demolishing this was. Melbourne,
called it.
21-8, 1-3-4. Now, there's a score. That's a cricket score.
That's a cricket score.
Sydney, 12-84. 13 goals second half. They just destroyed
They
them.
were powerful. It was like the grand
Powerful,
final all over
that's a
again.
good- yeah.
They were just powerful.
Yeah.
And, mate, if Clayton Oliver's not the best player in the AFL,
I think his mate was okay too.
Petrarca's a star.
And I'll tell you what,
But we know that.
losing Gawn, Grundy got 35 hit
Yeah, I
outs.
know. And
Like as if it was smooth transition into...
but it is, and that's, I mean, and I think Melbourne know that Gon's, 31, 32.
It's a great get.
He's done his knee twice in
Yep.
his career, right?
Yep.
Yeah, not that they could foresee this happening, but yeah, there's a chance that he's older. He's going to pull a hamstring or whatever, right? So let's get Grundy at 28
great
and have him
get.
for 3 years. Because
Yeah,
if Max
absolutely.
goes down, even if he doesn't go down, we can rest him. Van Ruin's come in.
How good's he?
He's good. He's good.
Took a late mark.
A late mark. But
really-
he's tough. He went in the ruck. Like, he wasn't scared. Like, I like that Simon Gooden dropped Tom McDonald to bring him in.
to play him.
And subbed out Ben Brown.
So, because he hurt his back.
Yeah, but
So,
still.
back to the Ross line, Brad Scott. Simon Goodwin, soldier in, soldier out.
Yep.
Drops Tom McDonald.
Yep.
Doesn't play both of them.
No.
Doesn't play Van Ruin off a half-back flank.
Yep.
Plays him in this position.
And
That's how you win flags at AFL level.
I agree. And to bring in Lockie Hunter. How did no other club?
Oh,
How did
staggering.
16 others? So Bulldogs got rid of him, so eliminate them. How did 16 other clubs not go? He's available.
Who's the other one? Oh, the other,
Well, he's gone to Melbourne.
He's gone to
So
Melbourne.
16 other clubs said, nah,
Do you reckon the Bulldogs could have done with you on Thursday night?
absolutely.
How handy would it have
Even
been?
though they won, but I just can't understand how Melbourne just pick him up and he's averaging mid-20s.
Yeah.
And very damaging.
Yeah.
He's been bloody good. That frees up Angus Brayshaw to go
That's
back.
right. Yeah.
You know, with Salem out, like it's huge.
I'm going to bring up 2 more points for this game.
Yep.
One, Sydney Swans at the MCG.
Horrendous
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Downhill skiers, mate. I don't like Sydney away from home, as I don't like Brisbane.
Yeah, you're right. And we have to talk about Buddy. He was okay. He had important parts to play, but last week Amadi and McDonald kicked 8-9 goals between them, and this week not to be seen because you've got to play Buddy.
Well, I said no. So in our preview of the or in our video about the who's on their last legs,
Yeah,
I said Logan McDonald, and you guys looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" And it's because it's the Buddy thing. I think he's not a liability because he's still a value, but mate, get out of that forward line because you're killing.
but you can't play Buddy.
No,
at
you can.
Moreton Bay Reserve.
No,
Sydney
you,
Swans.
No,
versus-
100%. But you can play him high half forward, right?
No doubt.
He's got the stamina. Well, he had the stamina. I don't know if he's
You
done.
could
he
play
hasn't done
Buddy
it
as a
for-
sub, couldn't you?
How do you reckon he'd like that? but like you're killing Joel Amadi and
Who showed?
showed that he
Yeah.
can play, right? And Logan
Yeah.
McDonald when he's 35, buddy, mate.
Yeah, I know.
When he goes down, what these kids are going to go? Oh, what do we do?
Yeah,
Like,
well, let's be honest. There's 19 games left for Buddy. Oh, there's 23 rounds, so there's 20
well,
games
I wouldn't
left.
even play him in 19. Like I'd pick and choose when to play.
So he's
him,
got
right?
about 15 left in him, and John Longwire's probably thinking, look, we can juggle this for 15
Well,
weeks.
can he?
But could it be detriment of them?
Well, it was on
playing
Sunday.
finals?
It was
not
on.
finals,
It
but
was on Sunday. Not that Melbourne's a bad side, and
wouldn't have changed the result.
probably not. But at the same time, don't you get that MCG finals experience with Joel Amadi and because if Buddy goes
Absolutely.
down, mate, it's over. He'll
Absolutely. And these kids need to get on the G. And they need to
100%.
win a game of footy, and they need to get
mate. They
confident.
went to Joel Amadi once in the forward 50.
Amazing.
He kicked
And I went to him
4 last week.
11 times last
Yeah,
week.
so that's not good enough for me.
So the final game, I gave it a nickname. Can I say it?
You can say
The
it.
Fats Rats Clackers Cup. Who cared?
Yep.
Fremantle 16-12, 108. West Coast 9, 13-67. But it was actually okay to watch.
It was okay because
I should have, yeah.
guess what? Freo played attacking football.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Even though West Coast had 48 injuries.
Shuey, McGovern, Cripps, Witherden and Ryan at the end. They had 17 fit men. They were within a goal late in the third quarter.
That's bad. That's bad. I heard people talking about should we have a mid-season trade period? Of course we should.
Yeah.
What you know, you've got these muppets in the media going, nah, That's the recruiting and the list managers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens if you have 14 injuries, mate?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Why? Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Hey, coaches, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to trade. Just remember that. You don't have to. But let the facility be there for the teams and coaches that want to. If you have 4 ruckmen going there, what are you going to do?
Are you going to ruck with your...
With your 5'6", like, what's going on here? What are we? Second-rate competition?
Yeah.
Like, it's just so stupid. Like, the fact they're even just thinking about it, put it in. It should have been in before. It should have been in 5 years ago.
It's about salary cap and all that.
Who cares?
But surely they can fix that.
Salary cap?
I'm sure it is.
Mate.
What else would it be?
So in the NBA, you can trade for someone, but you have to have the similar salary or get two,
They've got more nous and they've got more courage, these recruiters, to go, right, you're out.
Yeah, 100%.
You're in. These recruiters here are just too... They can't even list players and feel bad
but
on
it's not
personalities.
I agree.
At the end of year.
I agree. They keep saying it's a business. It's stupid. It's local
No,
footy
it's not.
stuff.
It's managers putting a knife to clubs' throats and saying...
Well, managers, do you want...
But they do.
Do you want the game to grow or do you want to
They don't care. Let's be honest.
then-
They're the lowest of lowest in the AFL
Then there's a reason why
tree.
Yeah, I agree. There's a reason why we only play AFL in this country.
Exactly.
Rest my case.
Caleb Sarong won the medal, the Ross Glendenning
He's a star, mate.
is it Ben Allen medal?
Oh, he's
35
an absolute
possessions.
star. Ben Allen, is it? Yeah. it
Yeah.
is. Why
Yeah.
Ben Allen? He didn't play for West Coast.
No, but I'm sure, I don't know why.
Or was it Ross Glendenning?
No, I'm sure it's a hyphen.
Oh, hang on. Is it Ben Allen when Freo's home game and then Glendenning when West Coast home game?
Another thing, changing medals because it's home games. What do grandstands change?
Yeah,
When
I know.
Port Adelaide play a home game, it's the Peter Motley stand. And then when Adelaide play, it's the Mark Rasciuto stand.
That's like the Lockett Dunstall end. It's Lloyd and
it is
whoever
too.
when Essendon played.
Coventry and Pratt used to be originally.
Was it? Okay.
Pratt and
then there was Lockett and Dunstall. And,
Coventry.
And then when Essendon played, it was Lloyd and Lucas, I think.
No, not Lucas.
John Coleman?
Was it
I don't
James
know.
Hurd?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. But
I found an underrated player. You found one in Wilkie. I hope I can pronounce it. Small forward, Fremantle, Sam Switkowski. Gee, he goes all right.
Yeah, he goes all right.
He's underrated.
Yeah, he's underrated.
He popped up out of my Wheaties.
He's actually, believe it or not, he's highly rated by Freo because he's in their leadership group.
Is he?
Yeah, so
I liked him. I liked the way he moves.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a nice player.
He's a nice
He
player.
could be better than that.
He's neat.
He's got a nice left foot.
Yeah.
He's an interesting player, but it would be interesting to see a Freo go this week. Like, see if they play that attacking style again.
Yeah.
And Nathan Fife, where are you?
What's his middle name?
I
John.
said Michael or something.
John.
You say John's everyone's middle name. But, mate, they kicked 16 goals without you. You're not required, buddy. I'm telling you, give it up. $1 million, they can use it elsewhere. Maybe in the mid-season trade, But, yeah, he's not required.
No.
Like, he'll come in, because Freo will do that.
He'll be a compliment.
Well, I don't know if it's a compliment. I think he's a liability. I've said it from the start. I think he's going to... So how's he going to complement Freo's game?
Where's he going to play?
He's going to play forward.
No.
Okay.
Luke Jackson, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's where he'll play. But Luke Jackson showed a little bit.
Okay. So then if he doesn't play forward, he plays in the midfield. So that means
he doesn't play there either.
So where's he play?
Sub with Buddy.
But that's my point.
Waffle.
But that's my point. There is
I'll get your
benefit
theory.
having these players. You've had your career, mate.
Again, maybe 15 games left for him. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons as we creep closer to that elusive 1,000 target. See you on the next one.